Many of you are under the false impression that we live in a republic, that America is a land of freedom, and that each person has a vote and can change the course of history, can choose their candidate. Well, I'm here to tell you that we don't actually live in a republic. We live in a totalitarian boomer dictatorship where every public decision, every societal ill seems to emanate from the boomer generation. And we're going to look at some numbers in this video. We're going to do an analysis, and I'm going to give you my worldview about what's truly gone awry in the United States, why everybody feels so cramped, why everybody feels so stressed about money, why you feel like your taxes are unreasonable. It's because of the boomers. So let's dive right in. First and foremost, while America is a republic, you go to vote, you elect electors for the Electoral College for the president. The electors vote for the president in the state. That's how the United States is supposed to function on paper. But what we really have is a huge discrepancy in who votes and who does not. You see, old people, boomers, they really don't have a lot to do. A lot of them are starting to retire. They're living off fat pensions, which we're going to cover, which are a total freaking scam. And when they're retired, when they're bored, they get really involved in politics because they have nothing better to do. They literally sit around and either watch Fox News or CNN all day. And they're informed. They view the world through what the TV is telling them. And they are energized to vote. And they will do whatever they need to do to preserve their status and to preserve their financial situation. Remember, boomers grew up in one of the biggest booms the United States has ever experienced in its history. Go plot the stock market's return from 1945 to the early 60s. If you had bought and invested throughout that time, you would have gotten astronomical returns. You would have blown it out of the water if you had just bought and held the stock market. It was one of the best times in human history for people in the United States because we won World War II and we were the only country that had not fallen to communism or was destroyed by the war. It was great to be an American. And this all happened right when the boomers were coming of age. Now, did the boomers save? Were they frugal? Did they consider that one day in the future, they would be old? Did they see their life as a large expanse in which they would be living and experiencing life at some point in the future? No, they chose hyper-consumerism, degeneracy, materialism, and did not save. They didn't save any money. They didn't embrace frugality. And because they didn't embrace frugality, because they were fixated on hyper-consumerism, they don't have a lot of money for retirement. And now the burden of taking care of the boomers as they retire falls on the younger generation. And ironically enough, boomers didn't have a lot of kids. So you have this huge generation that didn't really have a lot of children, that practiced free love, that blew all their money. And now as they get to old age, they've created a scenario where they expect younger generations to support them indefinitely in their old age. They're going to be able to retire earlier than you. The boomers will be able to retire earlier than the average American that is a millennial or Gen Z, simply because of demographics, unless AI saves us. But as we can see here, this is voting percentages by age. We can see on the top line here that in the most recent election, 74.7% of boomers age 65 and older voted in the presidential elections. We go down the list, 45 to 64, 70%. Ages 25 to 44, 60%. And ages 18 to 24, 47%. So you can see that old people are more likely to vote. So they actually have a stranglehold on US politics. And it's hard to motivate young people to vote because they find it hard to see the point. I remember when I was young, I had other things going on than to worry about voting for an election that I didn't think I could have any impact on. As I get older, I kind of want to vote more. And I know when I'm 65 and I have nothing else to do, I'm going to be voting as well. So the reality of the situation is that our republic is controlled by old people. And the old people, the boomers, are always going to vote what serves their self-interest. That is why people vote. It isn't for noble causes. It isn't to save the world. People vote for their self-interest, whether that's to virtue signal because they achieve status by virtue signaling, or literally because they want something from the government. And trust me, the boomers want something from the government that you are not going to get. First and foremost, Social Security. Now, I hear all these rumors that Social Security is going to go bankrupt. That is false. It's not going to go bankrupt, but if nothing changes, it's not going to be able to pay out all the benefits that it otherwise could. What is the current projections of Social Security? Well, we have old age survivors insurance. So this program was created in the 1930s during the Great Depression. America's economy collapsed. We had the stock market crash. We had deflation. It was a total disaster. Okay. And during that time, because the economy was so bad, more socialist ideas took hold. And one of those socialist ideas was a national old age and survivors insurance program where the government would give you a check after a certain age for the rest of your life. You're insuring against not having an income when you're older. That's Social Security. How Social Security works, and this is a fact, is the money is taxed out of working Americans and corporations. Corporations pay payroll, they have employees, and they pay payroll taxes. Those payroll taxes go to the Social Security Trust Fund. The workers, if you go look on your W-2, you're going to see FICA taxes. That's money being taken out for Social Security. That money literally comes out of the corporation's pockets, and it comes out of your pocket, and it literally gets transferred over to old people. You do not have a savings account for Social Security. There is no savings account. It's literally a transfer program. You go to work every day, money comes out of your paycheck, and it gets directly transferred to the boomers. For right now, the program is fine. But here's the problem. The current taxes being paid are not enough in and of themselves to support the older generations. Right now, what's happening is Social Security has a trust fund. They've collected more in the past than they actually needed to disperse. And in the meantime, they park that money in special government securities. But now that the current taxes are not supporting the amount that needs to be dispersed, they have to start taking money out of that savings account, the trust fund, in order to pay out all benefits. Once that trust fund goes to zero, Social Security, as of 2033, will have a percentage of scheduled benefits payable at the time of reserve depletion of 77%. Now, what is my prediction of what's going to happen when the trust fund runs out? What do you think the boomers are going to do? Are they going to say, okay, maybe we could take a little bit less money. We're getting very old. We had our whole lives to save. Maybe we should get less money and lighten the taxation burden on younger generations. Do you think they're going to do that? No. What's going to happen, because they control the republic, is they're going to vote in tax increases. Payroll taxes are going to go up in order for us to pay retired generations, retired people, a check for the rest of their lives. So when the program was first created, people really didn't live that long. Most people died in 50s or 60s, right? And then over time, lifespans got longer and longer and longer, which means successive generations could live longer and longer and longer. So you pay in during your working years, and the money's literally transferred to current retired people. And the people that first retired did great. There's there's a tidal wave of money coming in. But as more and more people retire and there's a smaller and smaller workforce in the future, as that workforce declines, the burden of taxation starts to increase. So the younger generations are going to have to pay more taxes to transfer to older people. That is the definition of a Ponzi scheme. You don't have an account at Social Security. Sure, they track your wages and they tell you this potential benefit that you could get, but there's no savings account for you. The money is transferred to people that are currently retired. So what's going to happen is when the trust fund depletes, the boomers are going to make the decision to increase taxation on the workers. They're going to vote to increase the taxes that are paid by people that are still working. That's you and me. And if you think about it, that's insane, right? Because a lot of boomers don't actually need Social Security. They had all the opportunity in the world to invest. I am shocked at how many broke boomers there are. Even if a boomer had saved $100 a month and put it in the S&P 500 or whatever, they would have millions now. But most of them chose not to do that. They didn't save a dime. And now they're living longer and longer and longer, and they're going to collect more and more benefits, and they're not going to want to go back to work. So what they're going to do is they're going to vote for tax increases on the current workers. You are going to be screwed. And if you haven't checked birth rate data, people are having fewer and fewer kids, which makes the program even more stressed. So they're going to be increasing the tax burden on fewer and fewer working people. So more of your current salary that you could use to invest for the future is going to be ripped away from you and transferred to old people who just live longer and longer and longer. They should raise the retirement age of Social Security. They should means test benefits. They're not going to do it because the boomers have total control. Okay? So Social Security is not going away, but your taxes are going up, and it's going to happen faster than you might think. So get ready to see a smaller paycheck because the boomers are going to want to take more and more. They don't care about younger generations. They're insanely hedonistic. As long as they're provided for, that's all they care about, and that's all they're going to vote for. And speaking of which, the scam of these government programs, it's mind-boggling. It's when I first learned about this stuff, I couldn't believe what these programs are doing. People don't have a lot of kids. They refuse to have kids, but they expect to have other people's kids take care of them in retirement because that's literally what's going to happen. So they're literally they're financially burdening other people's children for their own material well-being, which is pretty gross. And if you look at projections on what we're going to be spending most of our money on, it's going to be healthcare, Medicare, old people, health insurance, Social Security, and interest. So government finances are going to be more and more stressed as the debt increases. That may result in higher interest rates, which makes it harder for the average person to survive. Your home becomes more expensive because interest rates are higher. Your car's more expensive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to be squeezed. Your taxes are going to go up because they're going to raise taxes to keep paying for old people to sit around and do nothing and live forever, basically. It's an absolute disaster. And of course, the baby boomers are never going to vote away their free money that's coming in from a program that's fundamentally a Ponzi scheme because they only care about what helps them out. I mean, think about it. If you had $2 million, you had a pension, and then you had Social Security, and you kind of thought about it and you're like, wow, do I really want my children to really be burdened more by me? I think a rational person would say, I want to help my children. I don't want my children to have this unnecessary burden of taxation to support me when I don't even freaking need this. They're not going to do it. Okay. Social insurance is a scam. It is a massive scam. And it's even worse than it was in the past because now people aren't even having kids and they expect other people's kids to pay for them in retirement. It's a grift. And speaking of which, pensions. So I pulled up a bunch of state pensions. I am anti-pension. I do not trust pensions. How pensions work is you pay into them, your employer pays into them, And then the money gets dispersed to current retirees. So it's money going in, it gets invested, and some of it goes out. The boomers were promised huge pensions, and they're actually receiving them because the programs are still solvent as of now. But they have a lot of unfunded liabilities, which means future benefits that were promised are actually more generous than the fund expects to have at that point in time in the future. So it's basically another Social Security Ponzi scheme where you, the current worker, are paying in. The money goes in, gets invested, and gets dispersed to current boomer retirees. But by the time you get older, these pensions are going to be massively underwater. They're going to be massively underwater. And there's going to be no action taken now to kind of correct this because they're going to wait till the last minute like they always do. And because the boomers aren't going to allow that to happen. They want their check. They don't care what it takes. They will get their check. If it results in younger people not getting the money they put into the pension or the promised amount they put in, they'll vote for it every time. So think about that. It's an older generation literally plundering off of younger generations and not caring. Not caring. They don't care. Okay? They think they're entitled to it. They don't think long term. They think in the short term, and they think about hedonism. That's their life. Materialism and hedonism. And that's what they want to sustain for the rest of their lives. They don't care about the long-term social consequences. Me, personally, I don't trust pensions, and I don't trust Social Security. I trust my own investments, and I'm trying to save as much as I possibly can now because I think it's going to get worse in the future. As more and more people retire and live longer and longer and longer, they're just going to be around and they're going to drain on the system. And the younger workers are going to be impacted the most through a variety of different mechanisms: increased taxes, higher inflation, higher interest rates. It's going to be nasty. You need to start saving now. You need to start thinking about the future now and not trusting Social Security and not trusting pensions, because a lot of these programs are going to be absolutely plundered by the time that you hit retirement age. Don't expect you to have the same retirement as your current boomer parents potentially are having. Okay. Like a lot of these, look at this. Look at these programs. This is the percent funded rate, like the Chicago Firemen's Annuity and Benefit Fund, 31% funded. So the money that's in now is probably going to go to the boomers that are retired right now. But you, when you get to that age, you're probably not going to get the same check. You'll get some kind of check, but it probably ain't going to be the check that you were promised. Just a warning, okay? Think in the future. Don't think about the present. Well, they promised a check, so I'm going to get it. Not necessarily. And for the icing on the cake, apparently the boomer generation, which had the opportunity to invest in one of the greatest bull markets of all time, didn't do it. They blew all their money. Fact, most boomers are brokies and all their net worth is in their house. And then on top of that, they're getting their full Social Security benefits. They're getting the full pensions, which you're probably not going to get. They're able to buy homes at lower interest rates. On top of that, now they're getting additional deductions on their tax return. Why are they getting all of these tax benefits? When I'm 65, I expect to be a multimillionaire. My children are going to be entering the workforce. Why would tax incentives go to me? Why would Social Security be tax-free? That was a proposal. What a disgusting idea that was. Why are more tax benefits going to me? There's not that many tax benefits for younger working families, okay? So kids who are supposedly the future, you get $2,200 per kid, and you get like a max of, at least me, $1,200 for daycare. So I'm forking out tens of thousands of dollars to raise the next generation, and I'm not really getting that many tax benefits. Whereas older people, they're getting basically tax-free income, okay? And they get all sorts of additional tax benefits from, their counties, et cetera, et cetera. The amount of tax benefits that boomers get is outrageous, okay? Including this new senior deduction. Why? Why do they need so many tax benefits? I'll never understand. Oh, wait, yes, I do. It's because it benefits them, and that's all they care about. Next, I noticed, and this is probably going to trigger some of you people, I noticed that when I was working at NASA, there seemed to be a huge surge of DEI hires. And this was back in 2020 during the George Floyd riots, all that drama right there. And I noticed that I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, aren't we supposed to, I'm a younger white guy. Aren't we supposed to hire based on merit? That's what I was taught how it should be. Okay, the best person gets the job. Well, because of boomer guilt, they've actually structured the workforce as their own social experiment, where they, who are the beneficiaries of actual systemic racism, they are now trying to atone for their crimes by trying to fix the current generation by hiring a bunch of DEI hires and excluding certain demographics that aren't going to get the opportunities based on merit that they would have otherwise had, because we've done nothing but invert the systemic racism into the other direction. That's all we've done. And I noticed this at NASA. And once I noticed this, I said, I am done with corporations and I'm done with the government. I will never work for any of them again. As soon as I'm ready to be self-employed, that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Okay. It was so bad. And I saw this with my own eyes. In 2020, 2021, an eye-opening 94% of new hires would be categorized as people of color. Whites, over 70% of the population, accounted for only 6% of S&P 100 hires. Is it the POC's fault? No. You know whose fault it is? It's the boomers. So they literally inverted the systemic racism to be against people like me in order to make themselves feel better. So they didn't have to worry about that. They didn't have to think, oh, maybe I won't get hired because of my skin color. But then now they think, oh, well, I feel really bad about that. You know what I'm going to do? Instead of hiring my own flesh and blood, my own people, I'm going to extend opportunities based on race. And I'm going to feel so good about it. And I'm going to get my pension and my health care. What? What a scam. Okay. And of course, best of all, everybody's, oh, population pyramids, bro. Population pyramids, brah. In America, we have a decent population pyramid. You want to know why? Because we opened the borders. We flooded in tens of millions of people from around the world. And is it a conspiracy? What's the conspiracy? It's to sustain the boomer population. We can see demographics by race here. And you notice at the top, there's a big bulge in blue, which stands for the white population. This is the boomers. The vast majority of boomers are of European origin. But as you can see, as you go down the population pyramid, a smaller percentage of the total population is of European origin. Why is that? Is it a conspiracy to take out the people like me? No. It's so we can have taxpayers paying into the system to support the boomers. They don't care about the societal results of diversity. They don't care about DEI screwing certain people over. They just want their pensions and their benefits. And the best way to ensure that is to have more workers paying more taxes. They don't care about anything except benefiting themselves. That's all this is. This is our population pyramid, bro, and all the social tensions that come with it. Isn't it freaking wonderful? God bless America. Okay. It's all for the boomers. It's all for this big blob right here to make them be as materially well off as they possibly can. So think about it. They're siphoning the wealth from younger generations, and they didn't have a lot of kids. And if you don't have kids, I don't know why you should be allowed to receive government benefits in retirement. I don't understand that concept. It's a grift. It's a grift. You are paying into a system that is a transfer system. The system is a transfer system. If you don't have the next generation, you're transferring money from other people's children. You're burdening them. You're making their lives harder. You're basically enslaving younger generations that you didn't even produce in order to benefit yourself. This is a scam. It's a grift. It's kind of disgusting, in my humble opinion. So what do you guys think? Do you think the boomers are screwing us over, or do you think I'm just full of crap entirely? All right, let's do some member-only comments. Shut up, brokies. We got a fake member here. Every policy exists to benefit the old. It's true. It really is true. It's not this conspiracy to destroy the West. I really think it's just like, well, if we have more immigrants, that means corporate profits can go up, which boosts my stock returns. And we could have more people paying into our social system. And who cares what happens to younger generations, all the social chaos that results from that. Sounds like potential Dave customer. Sounds good to me. Yeah, every decision I make in politics is based on Dave stock. He doesn't even know you non. That's right. If you're not a member, I'm not answering your comments, brokies. Sign up for the membership. Give me $4.99 a month. Thank you. It's Andrew Money Marshall, pretty much. Trump tards voted. Old and poor Republicans voted all right. Now they're getting hosed. Well, we'll see what happens with old Geodis. And they'll also increase retirement age and hope old people don't live long enough to collect. They may raise retirement age for people that are my age. I'm expecting to get Social Security. I will get something, but it's not going to be as generous as it was for people that are getting it now. Unless we have this AI miracle economy that saves the world. Okay, that's the only way. But if the current trends continue, no, you're not getting as big a check as your forefathers did. Not in the slightest. And I don't trust pensions. It's like, imagine putting money into an account and then some of it is getting transferred to somebody else. It's like, no, I want to put money in my 401k and that's my account. No, nobody's taking money out of it except for like obviously management fees. But I'm not transferring part of my money to somebody else. That's literally what you're doing when you're putting money in a pension. I don't trust them. I'm cashing mine out, and I wish mine would come in. I'm still waiting on my NASA pension so I can pay off the car. I bought more NVIDIA. Good for you. You're such a genius. No VT. We got Mr. Face here. 150%. Oh, you're so rich and smart, bro. What would happen to GDP if Social Security benefits were cut 20% in 2033? Old people spend people focus on the short term of GDP. I always use this example. Imagine a government employee that literally does nothing. He sits at his desk and does nothing. That government employee is contributing to GDP. He's going to spend his paycheck, but there's still an inherent inefficiency to where money is flowing to somebody that's doing nothing. So what you could do is fire that government slug, make them get a productive job in the private sector, and the temporary pain from that slug not spending his government bucks would eventually be less than the long-term gain of forcing people to become productive. That's what we're doing. Yes, GDP might go down temporarily, but in the long run, I think it would be beneficial to society if we got all these freaking slugs off the government payroll. And I've experienced it. I've seen it. I don't listen to anybody that says otherwise because I've seen it with my own two eyes, how freaking worthless these people are. Social Security is a scam. That's right. It is a scam. It's a grift. Go check your paycheck. You're paying 15.3%, whether you know it or not. It's coming out of your pay and it's coming out of the corporation. Corporation's also paying part of your social insurance too. 15%. If you're self-employed, 15.3% on your profit. I mean, it's a little bit less because there's some calculations, but what? Imagine if you had 15% more of your profit, what you could do with that. That's insane. Give me my profits back. I will have never bought an ETF in my life. ETFs are the evil system. Yes, ETFs are evil. That's right. Oh, if you're basically a thief if you buy ETFs. How dare you? Imagine buying an asset, from the start that some companies in the ETF will go bank. Look, I'm not even arguing with you. Retiring at 59.5, fat pension and deferred comp ban in place. I don't trust pensions, bro. If you have a pension, whatever, you're going to get something, but you may not get your fully promised benefits. What you need to do is also have private savings like stocks, bonds, et cetera, in your own accounts. Do not rely on Social Security and your pension. You, as a young person, will probably get less than you're promised, unless we have some kind of AI robotics miracle that massively increases GDP. We'll see if that happens. I started diversifying my portfolio into space exploration, betting on it. Oh, yeah, of course. Space, bro. So profitable. We need strongman to keep reproducing. Someone has to feed me in the future. I'm trying so hard. See, I should get Social Security, okay? I had 2 children. I'm raising them, and they're going to grow up, and they're going to pay payroll taxes. Somebody that doesn't have kids is going to have to tax my kids and make their lives harder so they can sit in their butts in retirement. Does that seem fair? I don't know. But it doesn't sound right. It's mean, bro. Everybody should get the check, bro. It's just free money. This makes so much sense with strongman talking. The boomers are the only thing stopping us from taxing us to oblivion and raising the retirement age. So now, trust me, do not rely on those social programs. Are you going to do all that? Are you going to do all of that when they inherit a truly broke government? I just think it's going to be nasty. I think taxes are going to go up someday, eventually. Who cares about Social Security? I do, because it's coming out of my paycheck. Are you making predictions like Gil? We're so screwed. I think the American dream is getting so much harder to achieve that it's becoming evident the writing on the wall as we're working our way into a pseudo case system. I think the middle class is getting squeezed precipitously, especially with higher interest rates. And if we keep running these massive deficits, how are interest rates going to go down? Seriously. I mean, we have to just hope that there's a ton of demand for our treasuries. If the demand falls, you're cooked. Especially if you need to buy a house. The government has the ability to print money into infinity. Debt and crisis are a thing from the past. Oh, yeah, just print money, bro. There's no consequences. Therapeutics, bro. I can't wait for strongman's kids to take... It's true. It's a grift. And people don't care. Oh, I'm getting the money. I don't care. People are grifters, dude. Everything's a freaking grift. I've noticed this. Everything is a grift. There's so much grift, it like boggles my mind. The government's a grift. The private sector's a grift. All I see is grift. I can't handle it anymore. What's up, Gil? Thank you for rejoining. I appreciate you. You're a true Giga Chad. And I enjoy your comments. They're hilarious. I don't make predictions. I collect money. H93 is a clown. That's true. He watches EM. A lot of the boomers blew it all, but a lot also made more than they ever imagined. And their lousy kids are going to be our overlords in short time. Well, them and the bootlickers. No, most boomers are broke, dude. They had the opportunity to be wealthy. They chose not to be wealthy. I've noticed this with a lot of boomers. They just consume and they consume. And no matter how much they make, they spend it. Because they're like, oh, well, the pensions are going to pay for me, bro. So I'll just spend everything I make. It's like, do you like ever stop and think, like, why are you consuming everything? Why do you consume every dime you make? Why? What's wrong with frugality, with prudence? What happened to that? Oh, wow, really? Strawman exposing H93 on Paul's stream is the only evidence you need to know. He was there. I saw him. he was, oh, Paul. Oh. But me, I get all the crap. Okay. Palantir was within my top 5 holdings. Yep, he's got Palantir, Tesla, NVIDIA. Strawman caught him watching Paul. Boomers became homeowners and passed their homes down to their degenerate offspring. Paid off homes, too. I mean, maybe. We'll see. A lot of people don't. A lot of people aren't going to inherit anything. They're not. Because the boomers didn't prepare for retirement. So what they're going to do is they're going to do reverse mortgages. They're going to deplete all their retirement accounts. I don't think a lot of people are going to inherit as much as they think they're going to. Colt stocks like Palantir and Dave are going to crash so hard. The Colts, Dave's a Colt stock. EM community outperformed everyone in the chat. Oh, of course. EM's crushing it, bro. Capital Mindset built a cult on Dave. Well, I would say Palantir is kind of a bigger cult than Dave. And I think Dave's kind of a meme. Go watch Cashflow Kings last night and hear the clowns bragging about having huge position sizes in one stock. Same with Amit. Gil's the type of guy that panics on 1% decline and goes to daddy treasuries. Yeah, I would never recommend you. I don't like concentrated positions. It's like, oh man, I mean, you could win big, but you could also lose everything. If you had a big portfolio, I don't see why you would need to gamble it. I don't understand. Okay. If you're a brokey, I could understand the logic of it's basically a lotto ticket. But if you already have money, no, do not take concentrated positions. You've already won the game. Living on the government, the taxpayer's back, total clown. We need to save to preserve our dignity. D hires because everyone not white. It's true. It's so true. The second I saw that, I'm like, never again will I place my fortunes in a corporation. I will never try to work up the corporate ladder. I see no future in corporations. They're going to stiff you, all because boomers feel bad. They feel guilty. It's like, no, screw you. That's why I'm so fanatical about freaking self-employment. Why do you even watch EM? Because they're amazing, bro. Strong Dong, you'd be proud. I invested $20K in my cash file, $10K on Friday and Monday, despite, you're going to lose it all, bro. I also bought my wife a new Nissan Versa. There you go. That's a decent car. Instead of a clown car. Gets 40 miles to the gallon. She wore out the 2020. I mean, that's an old Jeep. Paid cash. Won't need a. There you go. That's a smart way to do it. I agree with that 100%. Why is Strongman? Because I was trying to troll them, but they blocked me. You think I was unironically watching them? Because he's a dumb clown. Like, that's why I explained. I was not unironically watching Everything Money. I was trying to post troll comments, but they blocked me. The dealership offers lifetime powertrain. There you go. Yeah, my next car, if I have to buy a car, it's going to be some kind of like compact car. You got to have a big car so you can flex, bro. I'd be poor. Steps is when they drop rates, it's going to be gangbusters. I think you made a good call. We don't know what the future holds. The market could crash next year. Because he has cyber stock in that stock. Capital Mindset Cult will attack any investment group that doesn't invest the way they do and cyber stock them. That's the definition of a cult. I think the boomers have to pay for increased Medicare costs year over year. The tax cut benefits help offset. Exactly. Trust me. You're not going to get the same benefits they are. We need to stop the discrimination against. Exactly. Or you be self-employed. You don't have to worry about it. Congratulations to the people of Alabama for being chosen for a role. What is that? They stalk Khmer. Quit crying. That's what cults do. The boomers compared about white powder and being hippies. Bruh. Free love, bruh. Thinking of selling my home in Sarasota, I would get $800K. I'm sure you have an $800,000 home. I'm seeing a lot of big name investors, not these clowns, talk about a crash. To be fair, they've talked about a crash for a while. And personally, I think we're in a clown market, and I wish there was a crash, but when it's going to happen, or if ever, I don't know. It might not happen. You don't know. Strawman is so titled. I voted for Trump, and I don't regret it like these clowns. I think a crash is coming. I don't know how big it will be, though. You don't know. It's impossible to predict. If you don't need the money for 30 years, you just chuck it into your index to hold it. I guess that's the VT effect. SSI, IRAs, 401ks, all scams. I would disagree on the IRA and the 401k. The only problem with the IRA and the 401k is it locks you with your employer. That's the problem. That it locks you in. Like, you can't access the money. But it's not a scam as bad as Social Security, because at least the account is yours. It's your money, and nobody's taking money out of it. Pensions and Social Security is literally just a transfer program. That's a huge grift. Whoa, we got a $6 super chat from Thomas Crown. Thank you, good sir. Between old people who just want to protect their entitlement programs and young Marxists who want everything without working for it, we are screwed. We're cooked. Global diversification, baby. That's the only way that we can survive, okay? Don't rely on pensions. They're a grift. They're a scam. Oh, why am I not getting my check? Government debt's like 500% of GDP. You're getting like 10% of your promised benefits. It's not fair. Oh, if only I listened to Strongman and actually focused on my own personal investments and built my own wealth. Oh, and another thing with pensions, the biggest grift is when you die, it goes with you. I mean, maybe your spouse might get some survivor benefits, but no, your children can't inherit anything. They don't inherit anything. It just gets kept by the system. So if you pay into the system and then you die the day after you retire, it's just, oh, there you go. Thanks, bro. That's a grift. If I die, when I die, if my kids aren't chumps, they're going to inherit my money and they can actually use it to their benefit and the benefit of my grandchildren, et cetera, et cetera. That doesn't happen with pensions. They just go poof the second you croak. It's a grift. The only reason they exist is people are too stupid to invest for themselves. And I mean, that's kind of true. People are just dumb. They don't know how to save. They're animals. They're not even humans. They're animals. They only think of short-term hedonistic pleasure. Oh, pee feel good. Oh, new car. Oh, big house. Oh, ice cream. Oh. Like, are you saving any money for your future? Oh, I want to feel good right now. YOLO, bro. It's like, you're not even, are you a human? What separates humans from animals is we're intelligent, and a part of intelligence is understanding that you exist throughout time. I exist now as a 35-year-old handsome man in my amazing house with my piano right there. But I also will exist, hopefully, as a 65-year-old man. I will exist. There will be a 65-year-old strong man unless I croak early. But probability, I will be alive when I'm 65. I need to help myself in the future by saving now. Because my future self will thank me. Future Chris will thank me for the things that I did now to set my future self up for success. But people don't, they're like, it's like a turtle, eat seaweed or whatever, eat food, oh, swim in water, oh, mate, oh. This is like animals. Like, being able to transfer your money anywhere in the world is an absolute magic thing. Yeah, do a wire transfer. Social Security isn't an entitlement, though. You pay into it. But you don't have an account. It just literally gets transferred right to somebody else, as opposed to your own personal investments, which are yours, and they can go to your heirs. White trash utopia filled with all these. Whoa, what is that? My hometown? Life is a grift. Everywhere I look, all I see is grift. The guy talks about a grift, but charges a membership program to read their you're literally benefiting from this program, you little whiner. Snow Buddy Utonia. ANS hasn't made a premium video in months. Oh, boo. You didn't even pay for your membership. Go watch Everything Money. Go short NVIDIA. You can pay the boomer tax via Social Security, or will be paid by the boomer's family, which will be burdened by boomers' needs. Boomers aren't NPCs. If they don't have money, they will get it somehow. That's not true. That is not true. Especially people that don't have families. A lot of people aren't even having kids anymore. Some people are just cooked. Like, at least, like, if I have a good relationship with my kids and they're older, at least I'll have them. But I'm not going to try to burden them with my needs because I lived a life of a degenerate and didn't save any money. I think that's wrong and sadistic. I'm actually trying to help them prosper instead of extracting from them. Boomers have made America great. The millennials will make it greater. We'll see about that. Strongman trolling Everything Money. Day one of Gil complaining about being an inaccurate market doomer clown that claimed he went to cash. We won't forget. Steph says, did your wife nag you buying a Nissan? By the way, he was banned years ago and still goes there to watch them. Yeah, that's right. You've exposed me. I watch Everything Money every day. I get all my investing advice from Everything Money. I love Paul. He's my hero. You've exposed me, bro. I didn't say the market would crash the next day, clown. I even gave a 10-week window. We got 10 weeks. Oh, look. Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir, gave me $1. This man is a billionaire, but he decided to watch Strongman Personal Finance tonight and give me $1. For that, Alex Karp, I thank you. But you need to put a clamp down on some of the grifters that shill your stock, okay? I don't like your little fluffers. They piss me off. What happens if the Coomers get... God, man. Free corn. No, she was on board. More glad she didn't have to drive a 24-year-old Jeep. Yep. No, I think you made a good decision. Don't think anyone regrets having him in over Kamala because we all know she is pilled out. Yeah, I would not want her as the president. The DEI utopia. It's obvious when I say market is going to crash, and I'm not saying the next day. Gil never been a cloud he didn't try to chase, pretends to be an alpha chat with zero proof. I got Jay Nagy's stream as proof. Why does everyone hate Gil? I don't know. Global diversification, more like diversification. Just buy Mag 7, bro. I'm all in African and Cuban companies. That's right. That's 70% of VT. He has attacked everyone I know online as he hides in the shadows like a coward. If the U.S. sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. There is literally 100% correlation between U.S. stocks and international stocks. That's right. If U.S. stocks go down, it's guaranteed that international stocks will go down. It's a law of nature. They're perfectly correlated, bro. 1 + 1 is 2. International always outperforms U.S. stocks or underperforms U.S. stocks. And the years that it doesn't, I just ignore that for convenience. Some animals even know how to store food for the future when there may be a scare. Yeah, some people, they're animals. They're not humans. They're animals. Me feel good. Me feel good. We all love Gil. He is entertaining, and his battles with Dan are fun, especially since Dan blocked me. So watching Gil did Dan block you? You're the GOAT. I know I'm the GOAT. Nobody appreciates me, though. Charlie Plattis is the god. Oh, stop. Stop. Zip trader. I've been letting Dan defamation claims stack up. Exposed. You got me. I'm an everything money enjoyer. They have deferred comp and pensions. Police and especially firefighters have unlimited overtime. Some people are going to benefit very well from the current system, and a lot of younger people are going to be shocked in the future. Prepare. Don't just rely on pensions. Alex Cart found the way of the dong. Thank you, good sir. $2 beer money. Yep. I'm trying to cut down on the beer. I'm trying to be a sober boy. It's good for you, you know? Drinking's for the young. It's for the young and adventurous. But as I become older, I don't like to drink as much because I don't like hangovers. I don't like hangovers. They hurt. Okay? And the older I get, the worse they become. Right about when I hit 32 years old was when was it? No, I think it was like 30. I had this horrible experience where I was dating my last wife at the time, and we were supposed to go to this like 1920s themed party at a brewery. And the night before, I decided to have 2 glasses of whiskey and smoke a cigar. So I went to bed, and the next day I had the most horrific, brutal hangover I've ever experienced. Well, maybe one other time. That was with my grandma. But I got up the next day, pounding headache, barfing constantly. I couldn't keep anything down. I was shaking. I was sweating. I couldn't get out of bed. It's like I got poisoned, which I did. Alcohol's poison. I couldn't get out. I didn't get out of bed till 8 o'clock. And she was nagging me. Yeah, we're supposed to go to this party. We're supposed to go to this party. Blah, 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 blah. And honestly, you know, she was right to nag me in that scenario. But I couldn't get out of bed till 8 p.m. And then I finally was able to, like, you know, I was shaking. I was like, oh. I was finally able to go. And the whole time I was just like trying not to barf. It was so bad. Like, imagine being hungover, splitting headache, and you can't even take Tylenol or drink water because you're just so sick. It was hell. It was horrible. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't like feeling like crap. So I've definitely, I mean, sometimes I'll indulge, but I don't get to that level anymore. Oh, God, it was, the hangovers, bro. Man. It's a good thing I've slowed down. Yes, sir. Are you going to make a 5-minute video and call it a day? Am I? This is more than 5 minutes. We've been almost going an hour here. I'm having a good time. We should get paid to bring the... Yeah, I'm going to pay you to watch my channel. Someone spiked... I mean, I was drinking at home. It was at home. I think it was a combination of like liquor and cigar. Oh, I still shudder thinking about that day. I don't know how you guys think it's a smart idea to drink literal poison, even if it's just for one night. I mean, it's for like relaxing and socialization, but it's not good. Hey, one of your oh crap, that one up there. Yeah, I need to get that fixed. Thanks. But I gotta repair my piano too. That's gonna cost me $1,000. So I'll repair the piano first. My kids broke it, and then I'll worry about that freaking light up there. So, Dad, I dropped the sauce 7 years ago. So grateful I'm not in jail. It's not good. At least get a dividend. Booze is disgusting. Clownish behavior, no matter. Overall, booze is a very negative thing for society. It's like there's no benefits except, oh, it's fun. I have a little bit of fun, but like, is the fun worth the next day's hangover? Some people can drink and they're not hungover. And those people like astound me. I'm like, you drank that much and you're not even hungover? What kind of genetics create that kind of person? Me? Horrible. My whole life, I've had bad hangovers. That's what saved me from being like an absolute drunkard. Because like I have the gene where if you keep drinking, it's like you want more and more and more. But the pain of the hangovers is so bad. I couldn't do it anymore. So you should make a publicly traded. Yeah, I'll make my tax business public. Ryu, the strongman company. I'm going to make a crypto. Who needs a company when they can have a crypto? 10 years, no. That's great. That is wonderful. I still drink occasionally, but it's not at that level. Not at that level. It was the whiskey. It was the bottle open before you drank it. Not suggesting it was poison, but sometimes I don't know what it was. I didn't think I drank a lot, but it annihilated me. Oh, no booze. I had a bottle of Evan Green. Oh, a bottle? I think I would die if I drank a bottle. Like now, I would literally freaking die. I never got it. Yeah, see, some people can do that. It's like, wow. I actually consider it a blessing that I get hangovers. It's a blessing. It's a good thing. Oh, God. So many hangovers. So many bad memories. Hungover after 35 lasts 3. Mine, I mean, usually they last a full day. And then the next day, as long as I can go on a run, I'll feel better. But it's not worth it. I haven't had a drink in 21. Oh, good for you. Are you on your sober journey? If I was a dictator, I would ban alcohol. Good luck with that. They've already tried that before. You think it wouldn't be able to happen due to the alcohol content, but whiskey can be. Oh, it got me, man. It got me. Woo! I don't do liquor anymore. The only time I do liquor is if it's mixed with a margarita. That's literally the only time I drink liquor. And it's rare that I drink margaritas. Very rare. I usually just drink like normal beer. Like I go out, maybe I'll have like 3 or 4 beers, something like that. No more booze here. Wake up every day at 4 a.m. That's good. Well, that's a little early, but I mean, at least you're healthy. No, not the bottle. Just a couple drinks coming back to the bottle after it's sat in my car. I'm old enough to drink. I'm a young adult male. Don't dox my age. You're probably what, 23, 24? The Jack Jackson is bad. I agree. Andrew, yo, strong man. I'm wonderful. How are you, Andrew? You having a wonderful day? Did you 10x today in the stock market? Are we having the Dan versus Gil debate on this channel? Any day now. Any day it's going to happen. Got to make those tendies nice and early. Can't wait for the opening bell. I get up at and we'll end the stream shortly. This is going beyond boomers, obviously. But I get up at 7:30. Sometimes 7:35, and I'm at work by 8. And my work's 15 minutes away. I literally I roll out of bed, brush my teeth, throw my clothes on. I'm in the car. I'm at work by 8 o'clock. Like, I don't play around with my sleep. I've perfectly timed to the minute how much sleep I can get because I'm kind of a night owl. Sort of. I used to stay up super late. Now, the latest now is like 12. And that's another thing. Going out and drinking. I used to stay out till 2 and just like pound double Jack and Cokes. And when I would get home, I would be so intoxicated, like I would feel sometimes I'd have to make myself, extract the booze. And sometimes my head would be spinning, like, "Ugh." Like I'd lay down and I would get dizzy. Ugh. Like total clown stuff. Now, 12 o'clock is like the latest I could stay out. Even when I was in Miami, like, oh, 11 o'clock, let's go back. I'm crying all my stocks. Oh, you're poor now. What a loser. He'll never doing a debate. He'll do it one day in 2050. This stream would trigger the boomers so they went to bed an hour ago. That's perks of having short hair. Strongman is pathetic. Yes, I'm the most pathetic human being in the world. Once you get a whoop strap, it stops you from boozing. What is that? I never was really into it, but I think that's having a massive negative effect on the drinking in the United. What is a whoop strap? Did you get spanked by somebody? What is that? Got to call my mom. Peace out, bro. Okay, we'll find out what a whoop strap is, and then we'll close out this live stream. Ugh. I almost didn't do a stream tonight. I was kind of tired. I got home today, ate dinner. Well, no, I ran first. Then I ate dinner. Then I had a phone call. It's like, do I really want to go on YouTube? But I was like, well, I won't make my $2 super chats. So I was like, I'll get a video done, and then I'll chill out for the rest of the night. The pandemic created a lot of boozers. They have 1,500. Oh, it didn't make me a boozer. Whoop straps are like a Fitbit. Tells your sleep. Oh yeah. I don't use those things. I mean, that thing would not convince me to stop drinking booze. The only thing that stopped me was hangovers. I thank the divine spirit every day that I have hangovers. Brutal, vicious, nasty, annihilation level hangovers. Well, I think I have them worse than most people. I don't know what I have, like the genes of a boozer, but I also have the genes of like, I don't know. It's a blessing. Just more dead. I thought you were talking about getting spanked, a whoop strap. If you drink, your sleep qualities. Oh, man. When I was in the Army, like I would sleep like 5 hours a night. And then, of course, instead of relaxing on the weekends, I'd be like, let's go to the bar. So I go out with my friends. I start at 9:30, 10, and I would just get insanely intoxicated, stay up till 2, 3 in the morning, wake up hungover as heck the next day, sleep like crap, and then do it again on Saturday night. And then Sunday, I'm just like a mess, and then I'm going right back to work, 5:30 on Monday. Total clown. LOL. Heading out to the bar tonight. Have fun, bro. No more club. I mean, I go to clubs occasionally, but it's 11:30. I'm like, we're getting out of here. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Unfortunately, I cannot play some of my intros. Apparently, the intro that was created for me with like the rock sound is copyrighted. So 2 of my videos got revenue shared because I played an intro. So YouTube's getting boring now. You can't even have fun anymore. It's lame. Anyway, thank you for all the members. You only get a response to your comments if you're a member. So you better sign up for the freaking membership. Check out the sponsored videos. Check out my tax preparation services. I do free initial consultations. I can do your taxes any state in the United States, business or personal. You can talk to me for free. I give you an upfront quote, and I'll prepare your taxes like a boss. Yes, I am a CPA. Yes, I've done taxes for many years. I am an absolute giga Chad when it comes to tax preparation. Anyway, have a wonderful night. Cheers.